There we go. A 24-minute late head start. 24-minute delay. There. Now it should be working. All right, let's see if that worked. So, turns out YouTube changed some stuff up in the time that I've been gone, in the time that I've since my last live stream. So, yeah, sorry for the 24-minute delay. Technology. Wow. All right, so as I was doing before, which none of you saw, I actually got a head start, and I was trying to start early, just in case something went wrong. So, just delete that. Head over to Facebook. So yeah, sorry for that delay, guys. How's everybody doing? Biker chick, my girlfriend is in Florida. Jamie's in Florida. She'll be back in January. And just so you all know, in case like someone comes in here and kills me, there was a car that was parked out in the road. I live out in the middle of nowhere, so there's really not any reason for any cars to be parked out in front of my house. But there was a car parked out on the road, and I don't know why, but they were sitting there being suspicious. Ah, it's good to be back. Our mower, is it running good? Which mower? Our 735 Moco? It's been running good. I haven't had any problems with it. Crops are coming along good. They're actually just starting to dry out now. The bottom of the corn's drying out, and the soybeans have their leaves that are starting to fall off. We have grain crops. I do hunt. That was a demo, Eric. We have about 40 acres of alfalfa of our own. I didn't go to the Farm Progress show because I have had stuff planned and nobody asked me to appear, so I didn't. Crap. Okay, I'm gonna post the link to this live stream to Facebook because I'm sure everyone else who saw my posts on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter are all wondering where I'm at because So I could sing to kind of entertain you guys for the moment, but of course I guess maybe if I don't rap. We've tried rapping before, and that doesn't work. We lose subscribers like crazy. Okay. Hopefully it's working now. Hashtag #AgChat. There. Should be working. Posted that to Facebook. Gotta go to Twitter. Okay. Right posts. Join us for a live stream. Actually, not really join us, join Ryan. Okay. What is the address of this? It is hashtag #egghat. Okay, www. Nope. HTTPS. Autocorrect. www.youtube.com. I'll get back to your questions shortly, guys. I just want to make sure that everybody that I promised a live stream for it can view the live stream because I had some problems. YouTube changed up some of their underlying stuff that makes the world go round for live streams, and I haven't live streamed in a while, so okay, hopefully this will work. I think it should. Okay, back to the questions. I'm sorry. Oh, it's good to be back. Hello, Ontario. What is your hay rake called? Our hay rake is a Gale wheel rake. I'm not exactly sure the number right now, to be perfectly honest. But we may be getting some new stuff, guys. It hasn't gone through, but we may be having some stuff pull in the driveway, and it should be here to stay. So I'm sorry if you asked a question before and I didn't see it. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start going down the list. Is the 4440 my favorite tractor? No, because we don't have a 46, or we don't have a 4440. We have a 4640. I do like it a lot though, and like I've said. Why do I see myself? Okay. Levi, the Ryan Kister count isn't me. Just a heads up. Iowa Dairy Boys, how's 287 corn treating you? Pretty good, considering I contracted most of my corn at 403 and above. So, doing pretty good. Will it still affect me in the long run? Yeah, obviously, because you can't contract everything you make. So yeah. Why don't you get a grain truck instead of a semi? We have considered a grain truck. It's not out of the option. We aren't chopping any corn silage this year. My personal vehicle is a 2007 Pontiac Torrent. Eli, Jamie is down in Florida, and we drove down there last week, maybe a week, 2 weeks ago. And once I got, let's see, put user in China. There we go. All right. Where was I saying? Oh, we drove down through Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, and then Florida. And once we hit Tennessee, most of the corn was completely dry by then. If anywhere below Tennessee, it was harvested. Anywhere north of that, it was pretty much dry. It was completely brown. But the thing is, from what I saw when I was down there, and of course we didn't go like through the backcountry or anything. We just stayed on the freeway. But the corn was probably from the ground to right here, and that's probably about 4 foot tall. So everybody keeps saying corn is supposed to be doing so fantastic, so fantastic. But the thing is, from what I had seen down there, of course I've never really gone down south much before, but if they expect those kinds of yields, I mean, it makes me wonder why they would even plant corn if the corn looks like that down there, because it didn't look like it would yield at all. Ben, hey Ryan, a farmer once told me your comment disappeared, but I'm gonna go from mine. But you asked me, a farmer once told you that you need equity to start your own farm. Is this true? Yes. This is very much true. And just the matter is that you cannot have a sizable farm to make a living off of without a sizable amount of equity. And the reason that being is because agriculture, or farming, and to be more specific, is probably the highest barrier to entry job or work area out there. So, yeah, you need equity for that. And usually, what I tell people, if you want to get started into farming, start working for a farmer. Get close to them. If they don't have any kids, maybe they'll give you a discount on the farm one day if you work long enough for them. But it's a big wager. It's a big gamble. So, Just something to keep in mind. Right now, it is 8:34 here. Kyle, what year is the John Deere Combine? I believe it's 98. I believe. Don't quote me on that, though. 9510. So maybe it is 2003. I don't really know for sure. It's not something we look at much. Lucas, how many beef calves? Like beef calves that we've gotten out of our cows? I couldn't tell you. I honestly have no idea. But we have about 33 calves. So, does equity mean equipment and land to you? No, not really. Equity means that you don't have any debts or you have more value to yourself than you have liabilities. So that would mean I have more money than what I own. That's what it means. So you could get into farming without a lot of equity through farm service agency programs, but the thing is they don't give you enough money to start your own farm, at least around here. The amount that they give you would only set you up to farm like 30 acres. So, yeah. Why get rid of beef heifers for bottle calves? Because the beef heifers had to be sold. How much do farmers make annually? Depends really on how much you farm. Some farmers might make millions, depending. It all just depends on the year. Other farmers can make anywhere between nothing and 100,000. It depends on so many different things. Farming is not a guaranteed anything. Ouch. How did our farm start out? So my family has a long history of farming. Uh, I don't know how long. I honestly don't know much about my family history past my great grandparents. My great grandparents farmed where my grandpa's brother is now, and when my grandpa was young, he bought his first farm, which is where Travis lives, and he's just grown his operation since then. So that's kind of gives you an idea of how we got started. Jamie, that literally took me like 5 seconds because I just kind of pushed it all over here. I don't own any land myself. I have no interest in any land. Thanks for all the positive comments, guys. And I know that I can't respond to each and every one of your comments because this is the biggest live stream I've ever had. This isn't the most people watching, but we've only been going for how long? 14 minutes, and we've got over 200 people, so it's doing pretty good. Anyway, I saw this comment earlier. Which tractors have you gotten stuck? I know this 2955 has gotten stuck. Travis was cutting brush with it one year, actually down here at my place in the pasture, and he went into a mud hole. I think that was in 2008, actually. We had a lot of rain that year. He went down in the mud hole. We had to go down there and pull him out. Other than that, I can't recall any specific times when we got tractors stuck. I'm sure there's been other times when they've been stuck before my time. So, what made you want to buy the 8235R? We needed another tractor. 3 tractors just doesn't do it for us, especially when we're used to having like 10. I haven't met with one woolly farmer. We were supposed to meet up this summer, but he got waylaid and he had to go straight past. I was not an FFA. Kyle, I don't know if I've gotten any followers from your Instagram post. Probably. Thank you. I graduated last year from the University of Platteville, and the University of Wisconsin Platteville, with a major in ag business and a minor in soil and crop science. John, we see ourselves getting it articulated in the distant future, not anytime soon, but we wouldn't. There is actually pretty good deals out there for a used 9200, I believe, 9300. I'm not exactly sure when they started. I think they're 9200s. They actually have pretty good deals going out there for them now, so we would consider it. The self-driving tractor, yes, made its debut at the Farm Progress Day. Yeah, the Farm Progress Show, Farm Progress Days, whatever it is. What do I think of it? I think it takes the fun out of farming. That's just me. So, I've never driven an articulated. The first time I've ever actually been in an articulated was at the Farm Technology Days. Fun fact. We don't have deer problems much. We do have deer problems, just not that big a deal. I don't play Farm Sim. Based on the performance of my drone, I'd be worried about a self-driving tractor. Tell me about it. I prefer steel. Biker Chick, I couldn't tell you how much revenue that is. I've heard what he makes per bale, or per ton, or whatever it goes by. But to do the math, I'm not even a third party there. I'm like a fourth party. So I couldn't tell you how much he makes. We are mostly John Deere. Justin, considering the John Deere Gator, not now. Considering that corn has dipped below 263 was the lowest price I saw. Luckily, I have contracted my corn and my beans, but no matter how much I contracted, it's still going to hurt because that loss, especially when it's that low, makes quite a difference. Video games. Video games. I see that you're here. For some reason, this live stream gets shoved into the gaming section. I'm not exactly sure why, but it does. So I'm sorry if I'm intruding on your space. But hey, if you're interested in learning how farms work, check it out. I started with Vegas. It's actually pretty easy to use to edit your videos with. Do we get to go on vacation at all? I went to Florida with Jamie. That was my vacation. Otter bikes. How long are you keeping the calves until they're 500 pounders? Generally about a year. Liam, we're not going to consider a new combine yet because we need other things. Thanks, video games. All right. Thanks for all the positive feedback, guys. There are just so many comments. I literally cannot read them fast enough before they disappear. So I'm trying my best, and this is what I've been saying too, as far as trying to keep up with you guys. Video games were in Wisconsin. Maybe someday we'll use a used 9RX, Adam. We aren't going to buy a new one. Thanks, Enduro. Nathan, I don't know what that is. Here's a good question. Hi, Chip Manco. Do you think there will be a need for ag careers in the future? Definitely. The more people that are involved in ag, the better, because not a lot of people are informed on exactly how farms work. which is why it's named How Farms Work. But the more people that have knowledge of it can kind of spread the word out and kind of show some of the murkier facts, or not really murkier facts, but the misinformation that's been fed out there about like GMOs and stuff like that. Yeah, the more people that know that go into ag, the better. So, my 2 cents. Preston, do you guys think you'll buy more land in the future? That is without a doubt. Are we going to get a new skid loader? I would really love to. Not this year. Like I've said before, corn dipped below 263 today. And I had a boat in my barn. It was Grandpa's. He had a pontoon. We don't have, actually, hold on. Yeah. Okay. We don't have a CCS planner, so I can't give you my opinion on it. I don't want to give you an opinion that is misinformed. Have you thought of growing non-GMO corn or soybeans? Sure, but the trade-off isn't quite there. I've never been overseas. We don't have a loader on the 7600. We used to have a loader on the 7400. It was a 740. Iowa Dairy Boys, shut up. Never told anybody to shut up on a live stream before, but I do know Matt Winkler. He was the old math teacher at Potosi. I worked with him because I worked with him at a prom that I shot at. I went down there and shot pictures for it. Do I own the house? No, I do not. Like I said, I have no interest in any land right now. I'm kind of glad I don't, but that's just my personal preference. I've been to Sioux City. Goons TV, we farm about 1,000 acres. Not huge, but it's about it's a decent size. I know some smaller farmers, so the bottle calves are doing great. We haven't lost a single one, and we've expanded our operation. I'm going to be doing an update video tomorrow, actually, on them. It won't get posted tomorrow. Yeah, there isn't going to be a video tomorrow, especially since I chose to do a live stream instead. So, John, does Sloan Implement sponsor my channel? No, they do not. We offered them to do a demo in exchange for showing their name on the channel because they had helped us unload my grain cart, and yeah, it's just we offered to demo stuff for them in exchange. We said, okay, we'll say your name, and you helped us out, so we'd be more than happy to. So, Iowa Dairy Boys, you said, remember when this channel was called? We will get a bigger combine someday. How's it going, Epic Miner? The corn will be ready to go late next month. Probably not even late next month. If we were shelling high moisture corn, it would be. But I doubt we'll be doing any of that. But mid-October is usually a good time. And we will be doing it throughout October too. Just depends on how fast the corn dries down. Thanks, Brian. We haven't considered buying the windrower because it's way too big for us right now. We knew that before we even used it. We were looking at it. It's just like something like this. If we start doing more hay, which 263 corn, maybe we will. We don't really see ourselves needing it, but we could. Is most of the corn you grow made to feed cattle? Some of the corn we keep to feed our own cattle. Most of it gets sent down the Mississippi, and from there it is exported to wherever it is needed. I'm sure some of it could be taken out for cattle feed somewhere down along the Mississippi, but it is exported. So, whatever happened to the All American Farmer channel? That's right. You know, I just decided to stick with this channel because for how long it would have taken to build it back up, this channel is doing very well, and I can put up with a stupid name for just to keep the same channel. So we don't do a lot of high moisture corn. We have done a lot of it in the past. I don't know if we're going to be doing much of it this year. I can't think of how much corn is in the high moisture corn salad right now, but I don't see us taking any out of it. We'll see though. I would like to. Is Jamie the main camera woman? Camera woman? She is the main camera woman. Is she the main cameraman? I'm the main cameraman. So. Matt, why do you guys disc the ground so much? Personally, I think we disc it too much, but we are going to be hopefully doing something different this year, and you guys will find more about that to come. I do. Can't really say that. I have hunted in the past. I haven't found the time to do it recently because I just don't have the time to go sit out in the woods. So most of what I do is no-till. Just letting you guys know. Hello, Lego Lover. You can change the name of your channel. The big thing there with changing the name on your channel is that it doesn't change your URL. And that is what I would be interested in changing. It's not a matter of anything else. It's just the fact that I don't want to, you know, this channel already has 50,000 subscribers, so I don't want to leave it. I am 23 years old. We aren't spreading manure yet. We don't grow small grains. We might be growing some oats next year. Ben, expected yields? Here's the kicker. Last year, we were going around doing yield tests, and I came out with about 215 average. And then my average in reality was more like 189. Yeah, it was 189. So as far as going around and doing the yield tests, they're just wild guesses in all reality. This year we went and did some, and we came out with 230 in some spot. Actually, in one spot we came out at 235, and last year it had tested, I don't know how much it had tested for, but when we yield checked it last year, we had gotten 275. This year we checked it and we got 235. So wild guesses. Will we celebrate for 50,000? I actually am doing a celebration for 50,000. Unfortunately, I have a date set for the video to celebrate it to come out, and that is going to be sometime in October. However, I'm probably going to reach 50,000 before October. Unfortunately. But yeah, my 50,000 celebration video is going to be coming out in October. It is the next Rewind video, and it's probably going to... I've been putting a lot of work into it. I've probably spent a good 8 hours on it so far, and I'm probably not even halfway done. Usually I spend about 8 hours on them, so I'm putting a lot of work into them. Whenever I need a shot, I've gone out and shot it specifically for this video. So, hey, Bassmaster Cole. Sorry to hear that, dude. With your tractors down, your name disappeared so fast I couldn't see it. Colton, have you ever crashed your drone? Good question. This drone, I have not ever crashed. I got this one last year. It's a very good drone. It's the Phantom 3. My Phantom Vision 2 Plus has crashed like 2 or 3 times. None of them have been specifically my fault. Like the first day we got it, we took it out, and it was in the middle of winter. It did a complete 180. It flew upside down. It flew towards the ground, and then right before it hit the ground, it swung back upright and then crashed down into the snow. Luckily, there was snow there, because if not, it would have been screwed up pretty bad. But we wouldn't buy an older Ford tractor, Chris. What other brands do you like besides John Deere? Massey Ferguson, Fendt. I like the look and feel of Fendt. Other than that, there's a lot of other equipment manufacturing companies that I like. So. Does the 4020 come in 4-wheel drive? Not to my knowledge. It's a good question. Jamie is going to become a teacher. Favorite country music artists? Good question. My favorite country music artists of all time, Brooks and Dunn, Montgomery Gentry, and I like Blake Shelton. I like a lot of what he's done. A lot of his earlier videos and some of his newer ones too, but best college to learn ag. I have heard that the Iowa State University is the best ag college in the United States. Just what I've heard. I am so sorry, some of you guys. I feel so sorry because like I can't keep up with these comments. How do the corn and beans look? How far are you guys from harvest? We're about a month and a half out from harvest. Corn and beans look good. Whether or not they look as good as last year, who knows? I have some really, really tall corn. How do you feel about the flash and pan farmers? What? Favorite brand of tractor? John Deere. Hello, Caleb. How much is it to start a hay farm? I could go through and list all the stuff you need. I couldn't tell you how much it costs to start. Considering you have the land, and well, I guess I was about to say if considering you have the equipment too, but the equipment is going to be just as much as the land. Yeah, I really couldn't tell you, man. I would have to sit here and run a pencil. Hey, that's a good future video idea. Is there any significant difference between the corn you grow and the corn you saw in Florida? No, there isn't any difference between the corn we saw down there. 8410 for 70,000. That's pretty good. I saw an 8200 for 62,000 with 7,000 hours on it today. Thoughts on a 7R? I'd like one. I actually got to test drive one at the farm, or not the farm tech days, at the Dodge County Fair, and I liked it. They're probably way out of our price range until they start getting some used ones out there. Oh, sorry, Manuel. How are the Cavs doing? I answered this before, but I'll say it again. The Cavs are doing great. None of them have died. We've actually expanded. We've bought more. I'm going to do an update video. Well, I'm going to record an update video tomorrow and let you guys know what the update is on them and what our daily routine is. So, and just to make this clear to you all, we we do not sell our bottle caps for veal. I noticed there was some discrepancy in the. There was a discrepancy in people were saying, "Oh, like, why would you sell them for veal?" It's like we're not going to sell them for veal. We're going to raise them up to their feeder size, which is 500 pounds. We're going to sell them there, and usually we can make a good amount of profit. Um, and it's something that I've always enjoyed doing is raising bottle calves and selling them as feeders because we have excess pasture space. So if we can throw them out there to throw them out in the pasture over the summer, it's a pretty good deal. So okay, back to the questions in a second. All right. Would you consider Case IH? Yes, we would. Considering we got a good deal and the price was right. Brand loyalty only goes so far when the competitor can give you a better deal. What's your favorite part of farm work? Driving the tractor. How many hours on the 4640? It's over 7,000. Honestly, I don't know. They had overhauled it before we bought it, and it has about 1,500 hours on the overhaul. Hey, don't diss the ads. It's what makes this channel a possibility. Yeah, the Mississippi River is pretty close to us. Okay, so many comments. Can I do another video on how to drive a John Deere 8235R? Do you want me to clarify that a little more? I guess I can this fall. It might be a pretty good idea. Maybe I can do a better video on teaching Jamie to drive it when she comes back. We don't hire any work other than family. We are a family-owned operation, and we are a family operation. There are a lot of farms out there who say, oh, we're family-owned, but then hire like 20 workers. You can't really say you're much of a family operation then. You're family-owned, but you're still not much of a... Yeah, I hope they had insurance, Brian. Otter Bikes. How long have we been doing YouTube? I have been on YouTube for 9 years. 2007, I believe, I made my account. I uploaded a few farming videos. They got a bunch of views, so I thought, hey, why not upload every now and then? So in 2012, I started uploading regularly, and it's just slowly grown over time. So, Brody, why am I not at the Farm Progress show? Because no vendors contacted me until it was too late. I did have like 2 or 3 people ask me to come down, come to their booth and do whatever, but I really don't have much time because they didn't give me a big enough heads up. So, would we add auto track onto the 4640? No. The auto track was nice on the W260. However, we do still feel like it takes part of the fun out of farming. It was really fun. It increases your efficiency. However, just being able to turn the steering wheel yourself and say you're actually working than just running the throttle, I don't know. It's not something that we would put the money down unless we just had it. Then we would use it. But for those of you who are asking about future farm events, if you guys are interested in having me come to your local event, contact whoever is holding the event and contact them and ask us to come, or ask them to ask us to come and say that, okay, you want us to be there. I have been starting to do more meet and greets lately. And they are fun. I enjoy doing them. So if you guys want us to come, have them contact me. Have them contact me. The 6620 was a really good combine. I will not lie to you. I'll get to your question next. The 6620, it's when we harvested corn, the corn was just clean. It did not leave any junk in there. And the 9510 really isn't as good as the 6620 is. However, maybe it's more efficient because there's the possibility that the 6620 was throwing more corn out at the back end than the 9510 was. So there's the trade-off. What is the hardest part about farm work? Wearing jeans and going out and walking all day and lifting stuff and working in 90-degree heat with when the heat index is 120. That's the hardest part. What would you like to get your cattle herd to in terms of head count? Personally, I would not like our head count to exceed 300 head of cattle because, well, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. There are, to my knowledge, the state rules for Wisconsin change at 300 head of cattle. There are more restrictions. They're heavier regulated at 300 head of cattle. So, and that I think that is on just per farm. Of course, we have 4 farms that we own, so we could disperse them. But overall, as far as breeding cattle, I wouldn't like to see more than 300 head of cattle. Just personal preference. JCB, haven't really considered it. We don't chop silage. We have done in the past. However, we had to sell our chopper. So we're considering doing it in the future, but not this year. If you could get a new tractor, what would you get? Another 8R. I'll try to make another day in the life video soon. I've been meaning to. I've just been so busy. Would you recommend buying baby cattle from auction or from another farmer? If you can, I would suggest buying your calves from another farmer. That way you know where the calves are coming from. You know that they haven't gone through a sales barn, which has how many diseases in it. And you know whether or not the calves have gotten their colostrum. Most larger dairy farms, once they have the cattle, they kick them out. But that colostrum is really important. If they don't get it, you know, when you go to auction, you don't know whether the calves got it or not. So we do leave most of our, yeah, you can leave your cattle on pasture grass all summer. It's what we do. We don't have a hay tedder. That may be changing. How many hours are on 7,600? 7,000, I believe. Is it safe to buy from a stockyard or other person? Yeah, as long as you know that they're not out to get you. We would consider buying a 9R in the future. It would have to be used. There are so many comments. I'm trying to read some of the comments, but they disappear so fast. Okay, Adam, whatever you say. Can you do a video on how to operate the planter? I probably will next spring. I wanted to know how the planter worked before I did a video on it, which is why I didn't make one this year. I just did the video of us planting with it. Hopefully next year I can get one of using it better. We don't snowmobile. You can. There are people that do it. Can I adopt you? We have a 12-row planter. We have about 1,000 acres. What do we use the 4020 for? It's our small chore tractor. Raking, mowing, mixing grain, hauling bales, any of that small stuff. Would we buy a skid steer with tracks? Yes, because we've heard they're awesome. However, on the flip side of that, I have heard that they are a pain for upkeep as well. If something goes wrong with them, it can be very costly to fix. So I think for us, we just rather stick to good old fashioned wheels. Have you ever had any problems with trespassers? Not really. We plant DeKalb, GMO. Who cuts my hair? Cutting up in Platteville. Yeah, that's the thing about the 4020, and that's not just this 4020. All the 4020s we've had have always started really well. We haven't had hardly any problems with the one that we have now. It's still running like a champ. Driving on the pavement is very hard for tractor tires, which is why we use the 7600. We got a comment about, why do you guys always use the 7600 on the road? It's really hard on the tires. Well, because that's the tractor that needs the tires changed next. So if we're going to use one on the road, usually it is the 76. Why do I think Wes Pandy gets so many haters? Because he talks about a lot of stuff other than just like farming. Like he talks about politics and stuff like that. So I haven't had a long conversation with Wes lately. How often do your engines have to be rebuilt or overhauled? I've noticed that a lot of tractors get overhauls around 8,000–9,000 hours. We don't replace our own tractor tires. Why don't you prefer Polaris? Because I've driven Polaris and I feel like I'm riding on top of it and not on it. If that makes any sense. Like I feel like it's a brick, and I'm riding along on this brick, rather than I don't feel like I'm a part of the four wheeler. Which is why I like Hondas, because you feel like you're a part of the four wheeler. Why don't you guys do winter wheat? We don't really have much interest in doing wheat. Do you do any custom work? Yes, we do some custom cutting, baling, raking, a lot of custom hay stuff. We don't do any custom grain work. We do not hire anybody to work on our farm. I get this question all the time. We are a 100% family operation. We do all the work ourselves, and that's the biggest we ever want to be. If we can't do the work ourselves, let other people farm. Some other farmers out there didn't get the memo. We don't square bale. Glad we don't. Okay, I saw a different comment, and it was a good question. Your cameras and their uses. GoPros. This is a GoPro. I don't really use this one, but I have 3 of them. I use my 2 larger DSLRs. I use 2 drones. I use a JVC flip camera that is waterproof. And I think that's pretty well it. I use my phone to do some too. I didn't really cover the uses of them, but got a lot of questions, so I gotta keep the ball rolling. What's up, Iowa Farming 16? What is the best state for farming? Wisconsin, duh! How is that even a question? What is cash rent up your way right now? A lot of landowners are still trying to get 300. It does go as low as 250, 225, and it goes up as high as 400, 450. Which I don't know how. We use bulls. We don't really AI anymore. I think pull-type combines are on their way out. We are in southwestern Wisconsin. We've always farmed in Wisconsin. Have I ever met another YouTuber? I actually did go to a YouTube event in Chicago last fall. I met a couple of people who had, I met the one guy who had 500,000 subscribers, and I met a lady who had 2.5 million, I believe. And I actually got her business card. We aren't going to be buying a Krone baler like Wes. Joshua, did you get all your corn contracted? No, because when you contract your corn, you don't know what your yield is going to be. So it's hard to predict what you should contract your corn. I did over half of my corn I contracted, and I don't know how much my beans. Oh, it was way over half of my beans that I contracted as well. Thankfully, because corn, everything I booked was over $4.03. Now, right now, the lowest corn is like $2.63 or lower in our area. So, yeah, I did pretty good on the contracting side. So, how did I become a farmer? I was born into it. Packers or Vikings? Packers. I don't really watch football, but if I had to choose a side. We would like to expand our beef cattle. I rent about 260 acres this year. I would buy a Challenger tractor, and if you guys saw the Challenger 1000 series, I believe they are, that they just revealed at the Farm Progress show, or Farm Progress Days, whatever it's called, that thing looks sweet. So, yeah, I would. I will do a live stream in the field during harvesting. That will be my non-edited. Does the federal government set minimum prices on corn or other commodities? I have heard that they do set minimum prices on like dairy, but I really don't know much about it because the time I've been farming, we haven't really hit a bottom point. So right now, I know that corn has not hit any kind of bottom limit, and to my knowledge, corn doesn't have a bottom limit. If it gets so low that it should need one, I'm sure the government will do something about it. I don't really like autonomous tractors. I've said this. Have you ever had any bloopers during your videos? Yeah, I actually am saving up clips for a blooper video. Are you thinking of any tractors anytime soon? Not with this kind of corn price, but who knows. And for those of you who are wondering, right now I am set on doing a farm day next year, and I haven't decided whether it's going to be in June or August, probably in one or the other. And you guys will be able to come and visit the farm. There will be an entry cost, like probably like $5 or $10 or something. I think it's going to be $5 at the most for kids. So if you guys are interested in coming to the farm, I will update you on when it will be. I need to contact a few people and figure out who I want to work with as far as that goes. The 4640 we got a really good deal on. I don't know how much it was. Yeah, I didn't buy it, so I can't really tell you how much it was, but I know it was a good deal. You should make your videos longer. You know, that's the funny thing. When I make my videos over 10 minutes, people go, wow, this video is too long. And then people stop watching. Well, stop watching the video. So I shorten them up, and this is what I've actually been doing. I've been posting more, but I've been posting shorter videos. So there's still the content there. It's just not, it's split up more because people don't like to watch more than 4 minutes, I've come to find. Why? I don't know. Would you build a hog barn? Why or why not? Not because we hate hogs. They stink. Is there a large airport near me? There is Chicago, and there is Madison. There is also Dubuque, but I believe Dubuque is regional. So, just a thought. Bank barn for? What do we use our milk barn for? Is that what that said? Can't really. Have you ever had any sudden death syndrome with soybeans? Everybody has a little bit of sudden death syndrome. We haven't had much of a problem with it. Yes, we would build a cattle barn. What did that question say? Would we be able to ride with you in the tractors on farm day? Probably not. For the reason being liability. If someone were to get hurt, tractors moving around. If we did, we would have to have like a $20 charge on it to make it worthwhile. We could run you down to the end of the field and back. Who knows? All right. Do you have an hour-long video of us mowing or baling? Oh, man. I don't think I'll ever do that. Live streams are where that's at. I would do an hour-long live stream. So what do we use our milk barn for? You call it bank barn. I assume you're talking about the milk barn. We are using it to raise calves, bottle calves. The drone lasts about 20 minutes. We live in southwestern Wisconsin, Potosi. Haven't had much of a problem with water hemp. Oh, man, so many questions. What is the highest yield you have had on corn? Average or ever? Last year, one of my fields had a spot in it that yielded over 300. But over the average of the field, it was like 195 or something like that. It was just under 200. What do we do for fun in the winter? Ride the four-wheeler around. Have you ever gotten a flat tire while out in the field? Polaris Ranger. Let me tell you a story, considering you probably hadn't seen it. Last fall, I posted a picture on my Instagram. It was of our grain cart. I was driving along. Dad loaded about half to 3/4 of a load on the grain cart, and I was driving along. And I was on a hillside, so I was driving like this, and I was driving along when all of a sudden I started to turn. Actually, no, I take that back. I heard a loud, like, poof, like that. Like I figured, like, oh crap, like I knew what it was, but it was really loud. So I was driving along, and once I heard that, I quick turned the other way because the tire that popped was the tire on the right side, so it was starting to deflate. So I took my chances of destroying the rim to keep the grain cart from tipping over. So I just kept chugging along. I started turning up the hill. So the 4640 was pointed up the hill, and the grain cart was kind of like at an angle, but it kept it from tipping over just long enough to where we could back the grain wagon underneath it and unload, and then we went and got it fixed. So, fun little story. Yeah, and we could get sued if someone got hurt while they were here on the farm day, so that's a big reason why we aren't too big on driving people around. But if we are going to do a farm day, the equipment will be out so people can look at it. So, thanks, Insane Pro X. I don't think Kubota is a bad product, but I have heard they're made cheap. Sam, most of what I do is no-till. We do, like most of what my dad does is till, but most of what I do is no-till. So. Do you any Badger Northland equipment? I haven't even heard of it. What kind of truck do I like? GMC all the way. For those of you who are wondering, if you're interested in How Farms Work apparel, you can visit our website, howfarmswork.com, hit the merchandise tab, or click on it, and it should take you to our, I think it's actually under the clothing tab. It should take you to our website where you can purchase clothing like this. You can purchase shirts like this, the baseball tees, which this is my favorite shirt of all time. It's really soft. I really like it. That's why you probably see me wearing it all the time. But you can purchase just regular shirts like I wear in my videos. There's sweatshirts on there of different shapes and sizes and colors. And yeah, check it out. You might be interested. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, I want you to buy my apparel, because I really don't make that much money on it. I just like getting like the logo out there, and I really like the clothing. So. Alice Chalmers is old, so I don't really like it. We don't own an actual grain dryer. Any of our grain dryers are on the bins. Typical MPG on the 8R. I want to say 10 miles an hour. 10 gallons an hour, and maybe up to 14 when it's pulling hard. We aren't going to get a new combine soon. Other things need to come first. What's the back of the t-shirt look like? It's like this one. It's completely blank. There isn't anything on them. I have heard of Farming Simulator. I don't really play it much. I've never heard of the GMC Quadra-Steer. I've never showed calves before. I wanted to, but I didn't. Country boy life. There's your shout out. You'd think land prices would be cheaper due to commodity prices. Exactly. But the thing is, landowners, and I mean, I can't really blame them. Landowners have the mentality that once they get a certain price for their land, or land goes up to a certain price, that it shouldn't go for any less than that. So, top speed of the 8R is 26 miles an hour. We would get another 8R if we could get another tractor. Why not feed out the bottle calves to finish weight? Because you use a lot of corn in the process. And thank you all for watching. A lot of people have thanked me for doing a live stream. This is my first live stream in quite a while. So, Brian, I don't own any acres on here. I don't own any. Jamie, why did you ban Granny? I didn't see what they said, but they had a really funny comment on one of my videos. So, 4 to 12-minute videos are perfect. I know that's what I try to aim for, Alan. This is the Phantom 3 Pro. FYI. This thing is very nice. First tractor I drove assisted was the 2955. First tractor I drove by myself was the 4020. Jesus Rojas. Corbin Willis. Milk is the best. Clayton Jerome, I am really sorry that it is hard to get a question in. The comments just keep scrolling up. Later, Enduro. We wouldn't get a Ford tractor. How do they pick corn on the cob? Usually by hand. Do you have a grain cart? Dad has a grain cart. It is an easy trail. Not exactly sure what the number is on it right now. I should know. Ask me again in the fall. And I also have a grain cart. It's a Brent 672. Just bought it this year. Matthew Wakab. Oh, geez. Would you ever sell your crops to viewers? If they paid the right price for it, we would. I've heard of Rockford. Brittany has a Polaris. I have a Honda Foreman. Travis does too. We don't have much of a problem with urbanization here because we live literally out in the middle of nowhere. It's nice. Have you seen or heard about that farmer by Platteville that's growing tobacco? The one on County B? They've been growing tobacco for a couple of years, and to my knowledge, they are either Amish or Mennonite. We haven't had any problems with the 8R. I have heard that Kubota does break easily because they're built lighter, is what I've heard. We haven't had a drought at all this year. We've had plenty of rain. I never did any FFA activities. I wasn't involved in FFA. You don't see the corn price going back up until March? I don't either, Joshua. Of course I'm going to be doing harvesting videos this fall. I don't dip. What was your chore when you were little on the farm? Good question. My chore was feeding bottle calves with Grandma. We were in Nashville a week and a half ago. I drove Jamie down to Florida. She is staying down there for 4 months. It is 9:30 here. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, check this out. I had a really bad farmer's tan before I went down to Florida. Stupid me, I didn't use any sunblock while I was down there. And this was pasty white when I went down. And yeah, I guess it's still a little pasty, but it's not as bad. And it burnt really bad when we were down there. Like when we were out in the sun, I could just feel it like burning my back. I'm like, oh no. And then it just kind of tanned over. So, not bad. Just a heads up, guys. If you're commenting stupid stuff, be careful. Jamie's going crazy with the band hammer tonight. Can't blame her. It's what I told her to do. So, I'm 23, Andrew. I know plenty of Voyans around here. I believe in mid-population and mid-size ears. We aren't going to be doing any silage this year. Justin, I live here for free in exchange for helping my dad. We would get a semi. I couldn't tell you when I plan on buying land. What was your worst year and why? This year's the worst year. Corn is 263 right now. Okay, so assuming I get 190 bushels of corn, yeah, 260. No, let's try 110. Let's say I'm growing 110 acres of corn. Multiply that by 190 bushels to the acre. It's 20,000 bushels. Multiply that by about 263. It's the lowest I saw. That's $54,000. The input costs for 110 acres of corn are about $70,000 for about 110 acres of corn. That's what the input costs were about this year. And I have actually more than 110 acres. But yeah, it doesn't pencil out. So for anybody who is selling corn right now, I feel terrible for them. And honestly, I'm probably going to be saying this in November when we go to harvest, October, November. I'm probably going to be saying, "Oh, I feel sorry for us." We have heard of vertical tillage. We will probably be doing some of that in the future. Jared, how much do you forward contract? They usually recommend forward contracting no more than like 50%. 50 to 65, 70%, just in case you have 30% less corn than what you thought you'd have. So I'm sitting pretty close. I've contracted over half my corn for over $4.03. So my only problem is that I was sitting to make a killing when I contracted that, but now it kind of has balanced out. So we'll see what it actually comes out to be. Bottle calves are doing great. I would rather lick this floor. I guess it's not really that crazy. I would rather, I don't want to say shoot myself because this is supposed to be a kids channel. I would never want to go back to dairy farming. And just a heads up, we do have a P.O. box for fan mail. I have said that if you include an envelope, a stamped envelope along with your mail, I will respond. This hasn't been true because I've been so busy. But if you send us mail, I will try to get back to you with mail. But just saying, fan mail box is P.O. Box 103, Potosi, Wisconsin 53820. What is your expected profit on bottle calves? All right, so you can buy a bottle calf for $150. That's pretty cheap on the low side, maybe $200. And milk replacer per calf, $50. Throwing a random number out there. Vaccinations, dehorning. Can't think of the word right now. I'm having such a brain fart. Neutering them. What else do you need? Other than that, for us, we have plenty of hay for them. So other than that, those are our only real costs. So if we sell them for $500, which right now the price for feeders is well over $500 or $1 a pound, it's like $115, I want to say, for feeders. Probably more. I think Dad saw like $130. So let's say you sell each calf for $600, $650. Your inputs for that calf were 300, so you're making 350 on the cow. Seems pretty worth it. Our Sloan implement is in Bloomington, Wisconsin. We have a new idea spreader. It's an Agco? Yeah, Agco new idea spreader. What's your worst injury that you've had on the farm? The worst injury that I've had on the farm was on my hand. Um, this is just me. Travis has had way worse injury than me. We were replacing or spinning the blades on our straw chopper for the dairy barn. It's got a set of triangular blades on them. I was rotating them around and they were spaced really close together. Well, they were rusted, so I was trying to get them apart, and I was pushing forward with this hand, which I would have been tightening it at the time, and the wrench slipped and it cut my hand open. It bled pretty good. Travis has almost cut his leg off. Pretty sure he cut a tenth of his leg off, but he's walking fine. How well do you know One Lonely Farmer? I've talked to him a couple times. What is your input on Massey Ferguson? I like their newer tractors, not their older ones. Their older ones look ugly. I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. We hire our spraying done. That way, if we mess up, it's not our fault. Thinking about upgrading the Pontiac soon. No, I think I'm going to keep it around. I really would like to get a truck, but that's going to have to wait. I personally do breed cattle. I have 15. I have about 15 head of cattle. Not very much. Those are just the breeding cows, though. Would you kill the hay or till it under? Kill it, because traditionally that's more effective. Yoder's Bar is literally right by the farm, so I've been there a couple times. Sometimes we pick up our food there. Hey Wes, how's it going? They're talking like you're here. I haven't seen your comment, but will you do more videos on the money side of farming? Random TV USA. Yes, I am considering doing more videos on the cash side of it, especially now that corn has hit. I don't even know the last time it was 263, but it has hit a low. So I was thinking about doing a video on it. I should have done one when it was up high, but I was busy. So, and yeah, really make people go nuts with how little people are making. Logan, how do we water our fields? Mother Nature. When are you expected to harvest? October. Quadcopter costed around $1,300. I know where Verona is. What do we do in the winter? We fix stuff. Everything that broke during the summer or during harvest, we fix during the winter. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go get something to drink. What's up? Sorry about that. I would buy a Can-Am. They're pretty nice. We would buy an articulated in the future. They have 9100, 9200s that are pretty good priced. I was not involved in FFA. I chose ag business because I felt it could benefit the family farm. I went to UW Platteville for ag business with a minor in soil and crop science. A lot of farmers will be selling out because they can't make money or lost money this year because of high input costs. This is very true, especially with the recent crop crash. We really don't have that many problems with our tractors, which is why we usually stick with John Deere. I don't know about any other tractors, but seems like seems like our tractors do way better than our implements. Like they don't wear out, so must be doing something right. Good night, Brooks. What is your opinion on the new John Deere balers? I don't really have much of an opinion because we don't have one. If I tried one or demoed one, I'd know better. We demoed a windrower, so I feel like I can or do have a valid opinion on those now. So it's one of the big reasons we demoed one, because people always ask, what is your opinion on one? Well, now I have an opinion. How many battle calves did you end up getting? Around 33. And yeah, we're feeding about 33. Hey, Brady. Travis was upset when we sold Ted. I would personally rather buy a Peterbilt semi if we get one. Have you ever done anything on the farm to really tick your dad off? No, not really. Story time! I haven't really discussed this one because it's not really like child appropriate, I guess. But this is an official video, so this is just a live stream. But I have done things to tick off some people on the farm. One day in the winter, when my grandpa was still alive, I took the mule out into the pasture along the highway, and I drew a body part that's better left undiscussed. And I drew it in the snow with the mule, and some of my relatives came and were told on me to my grandpa. But my grandpa, I went into the house after they left, and after they were complaining about it. And my grandpa was just kind of giggling about it when I walked in. it was pretty funny. He's like, so, I heard you got pretty creative with the mule over by the house. I'm like, oh, yeah, a little bit. Then the snow melted. So, yeah, harmless things. So, just thought I'd tell you guys that story because I haven't told that one before. I haven't bought any bottle caps. I thought about it. If I buy some, it'll probably be this winter. And I thought about raising them with Travis, which is a pretty good idea. So maybe, I don't know. None of the calves have died. Corn knifing a few rows. Travis has gone total daredevil on the Honda. He had a little accident. That's better left undiscussed. He ran into the I have a waterfall down here in the pasture, and he ran into the front of it. He messed up the front of his four-wheeler. But he replaced it, and it looks like brand new. Blue is my favorite color. I have about 15 head of cattle in my herd. I'll try to do another day in the life soon. I don't really hunt. I used to. I haven't had the time to do so. Do you have trouble with herbicide-resistant weeds? Not really, because we change up our spraying program pretty frequently, and we also cultivate as well. So we have that advantage. What corn population do you plant? Anywhere between 30 and 40,000, depending on the moisture that we typically get, the fertilizer rate, the yield that we had the previous year, how many rocks there are. All those things are things that we take into consideration when we go to plant. Brandon B., if you weren't farming, what would you be doing for a living? This is a very good question. Travis actually asked me this because we were just having a discussion about what we would be doing if we weren't farming, and neither of us really know. I honestly do not know what I would be doing if I didn't have the farm to play around with. I say play around with because I do the YouTube video things, and I also have my interest in it as well. So. Yeah, neither of us really know. Neither of us really care to think about it. So, I went to UW-Platteville with a major in ag business and a minor in soil and crop science. We do have a finisher lot. Well, it's not really a finisher lot. We just have a steer lot. Thanks, Alan. I don't know. As far as my confidence level in my videos gets to a point where you realize you're just talking to a camera. It doesn't really feel like you're talking to, well, like right now it does feel like I'm talking to people. I guess it doesn't really feel like I'm just talking to a camera. It feels like I'm just talking to one person. Like I'm talking to the whole YouTube community. And I don't really think of you as like, I don't know how many views my videos get now. Like 20,000 people. I don't think of as the camera as 20,000 people. I think of it as one person that I'm talking to, like a friend. It's literally that easy. So, and it's not something that you can just tell yourself. It's acquired. It's self-taught. Dad loves the videos. What times do you feed the calves? 9 and 6. Would we sell bales? Yes, we would. We haven't had much problems with flies. My family watches my videos, usually when I'm not around. Dairy farmer. I couldn't tell you the row spacings on the tractors. Do you have days where you really hate farming? No, I have days where I really hate what we're doing. I honestly don't know how many hours are on the 40/20. We do cash crop and beef. Most of our land is smooth. We don't have many like piles. We have some sinkholes, but we fill them in. Field corn tastes like crap. Don't try it. Brandon, the bonfire didn't cause any damage, luckily. If it did, I probably would have included it. But yeah, we were out there watching it because we set it on fire. We watched it diminish. We went up to the house, and then we looked out the window, and there was this orange glow on the horizon. We're like, huh, we better go down there and check that. So the ground had plenty of moisture on it, so it wasn't really going to spread unless the embers landed like in the barn. Did I ever get trouble in school? That's a really good question. No, I did not. I was one of the kids who just kind of sat back and let everybody else get in trouble. This is what I usually say about myself. I'm usually more of a person who's pretty quiet, like in class or in public and stuff like that, because I like to sit back and listen to other people talk. And it's not just that I don't like to talk, but it's just like I like to learn. So by listening to what other people have to say, I understand their viewpoint. I understand a whole lot more, and you can't learn while you're talking. So that's why I generally reserve all my talking for when I'm making my videos. I would recommend Bobcat skid steers. People say they're pretty unsteady, but we like them. What brand vertical till would you go with? I don't even know. I took the ACT. I'm not sure if I should tell you guys my score or not. We've never demoed a combine. We make 40 acres of hay of our own per year. We also do custom work, and it varies widely. So, and we have over 300 of you here now. And I said this at the beginning when there weren't as many people, but in this year, we may be having some new arrivals on the farm in terms of equipment. I'll cover it more in a future video. We may be having some equipment come to replace some of the equipment that we have now, some of the things that need replacing, and I will be covering this in the video. So just a little heads up. Slow down when I talk. I'm sorry. I get excited sometimes and I start to talk fast. We liked our 535 baler, except it was shot by the time that we sold it. So Sloan Implement is about 30 minutes away, 25 if you hurry. What crop sells for the most? Well, beans sell for over $9 a bushel, so beats out corn. Where do y'all sell your crops? Gavilan Grain in Dubuque. I don't know how many calves we plan on buying. The barn can hold 70, and I know we'd like to see it full this winter. Which tractor of yours would you restore? We were talking about restoring 4020. That tractor really doesn't owe us anything. It really doesn't. Largest field, 150 acres. No interest in hogs. They stink. I hate hogs. What is my opinion on the Windrower mower you guys tested? I really liked it. We wouldn't get one for us because we aren't doing enough hay ground, but considering what corn price is, if it were to stay like this, I would see ourselves doing more hay in the future, and then possibly we would want one. But this is the Phantom 3, and just a heads up, if you guys add me on Snapchat, How Farms Work, you can kind of get a hint for what a future video may be. Sometimes I don't post. Well, I usually don't post every day, but I try to post as much as I can because it gives you guys a heads up and ideas on what a future video might be. What time am I going to stop the stream? 300 people watching. I will go until 10:15, guys. All right? Does that sound good? 10:15? Who was your favorite teacher in high school? Mr. Charlie Bull. He was my shop teacher. He taught me everything I know about photography and videography as well. Farmers don't retire. How many bushels of crops can your grain bins hold all together? Well, we just built a 20,000 bushel. We have a 10,000 bushel, and we have another, is it 5,000? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 5,000 bushel. So 35,000. We need way more storage space. See you later, Captain Carter. I will stop at 10:15, guys. That is in 15 minutes. Right now it's 10 o'clock. Can I do a water bottle flip for you? Probably not, because I don't have any water in the bottle. I don't have any machining skill. Okay, I saw. How do you heat the house? With wood pellets as well as LP. Have you ever thought of buying land covered woods and clearing out? No, because all the woods in our area are on hillsides, so there isn't any land to buy and clear out. I'm 6'1". How much are hoodies? I believe one of them sells for 30. You can get really, really nice ones on there for $35, $40. And yeah, that is pretty expensive, but it's cheaper than you can get them some other places. And get the How Farms Work logo that way. I don't really like the old International tractors. Dad had a 1586, and I actually like that tractor. It just felt really bulky. My uncle had a hard time selling hay. Any suggestions? If the market isn't there, which it isn't right now, if the market isn't there, it isn't there. You can try to think of different uses that you could use it for. So, and yeah, for those of you who are interested in the clothing, go to howfarmswork.com and hit the clothing tab. It'll take you there. We're not clearing land right now. I don't think I'm selling any hats. Actually, Wes, if you're still here, that's a question I had for you. I was wondering if you could get me a How Farms Work hat with How Farms Work on the brim, since you have that embroidery machine. And it wouldn't have to be anything spectacular, but if you could get me a bulk order of those, I'd be happy. If you could, I don't know. I have a solo shot hat. I'll actually go get it right now. Whew. So Wes, I don't know if you've seen this hat, but I want a hat just like this that says How Farms Work on it. And I was wondering if you could do that for me. So, yeah, just give me a call sometime. And fun fact for you guys watching, I actually got a call from RFD TV. They're interested in giving me a spot. I'm not exactly sure how much we would be putting on there. I wouldn't want to do a whole lot because I want to stick with YouTube because it is my main platform. But I think they're interested in doing a series or a short series on there. So. One guy on here said that hay is selling for 80 bucks. 80 bucks a bale. Okay, tell us why you fly DJI but wear a solo shot hat. Because I really like this hat. And it is, I guess here's the brand name right here. OC, I think it is. If I could get one of these with How Farms Work on it, I'd be wearing that sucker everywhere. And I would put it up for sale on my website because I really like this hat. And I'm not a person who wears hats, so. Wes, you can't vote yourself in for president. I was not in FFA. I get that question quite a lot. But I did do soil judging. Yeah, I wasn't in FFA, but I did do soil judging. McCormick, don't know a lot about them. From the ones I've seen, they would look way too small. If it were up to you, would you quit dairy farming and do something else? Dude, have you even been watching this live stream? Do you even watch my videos? We don't dairy farm. We have dairy farmed in the past. We don't like it. We aren't set up for it. If we were set up properly for it, then maybe. But we are not set up for dairy farming. Jamie has my John Deere hat. All right. What do you spray for anthracnose and northern corn leaf blight? We do not spray for it. You can spray something called, I think it's called Ranger. I think. I am actually going to look that up right now. Okay. Ranger. Actually, I think it's a herbicide. And of course, now Google isn't going to load. Yep, Ranger is a glyphosate. I was totally wrong. There is sprays out there that you can spray for it. I'm not going to take the time to remember it right now because my brain's kind of fried from answering all these questions. We don't have a lot of sudden death and white mold in our corn or in our beans. What made you decide to start raising bottle calves, and does it make good money? I covered this previously, but it does make good money for us. For other people, maybe not, because we have plenty of pasture to spare. But we decided to do it because we're pretty well set up for it. We had to change some stuff around in the barn, but we are set pretty good up for it. So we have low input costs, and there's a pretty good turnaround time. So that's the reason we went with that. Which is my favorite cow? I have a cow named Rosie. I've done a few videos with her. Let's see here. Somebody just commented, have you thought about any ways of making more money with YouTube to help pay for cameras plus the time it takes, etc.? As far as trying to drum up more money to pay off stuff, anything other than the clothing. I mean, I wouldn't mind higher clothing sales, but if I want something, I'm going to get it. And that's just the way it is I don't know. It's kind of a tricky subject. We don't plant canola. All right. Thanks, Wes. Good night. Connor Wilson. We would get a 7810. Dad actually would really like 7810. My biggest overkill is underrated moment. I actually did this on camera. We raked corn stalks with the 4640 with the duals on. It felt like way overkill, but it was so much fun. Why did we auction off our farm equipment? Because my grandpa passed away in 2014, and we were dairy farming at the time, and the cows and the equipment were not specifically left to my side of the family, so therefore they had to be auctioned off to ensure a fair distribution of the equipment. So that's the reason we had to sell everything. That's why we didn't buy everything back. On top of that, all of our equipment, like our tractors, and sure there is stuff that we miss, but all of it was worn out. So we weren't really too sad on it. It's kind of a refresher. And for me, it worked out because by having to sell all the equipment, we've basically been starting from scratch, and I've been showing you guys the expansion of our operation. A lot of people have been complaining because we've been buying stuff too quickly, but the thing is, like I said, we're just started to restart our operation for beef and crops. So I got about 5 more minutes before I'm quitting. I haven't seen the floods personally in northeast Iowa, but I have heard about them. I was in 4-H. It's a good question. I showed chickens. What do you do in your downtime? I don't really have much downtime. If I do have downtime, 4-wheeler rides. I do enjoy fishing, but I don't really go fishing much. Spend time with Jamie. I do play PlayStation 4, for those of you who may or may not be interested in that. Just stuff like that. I don't do a whole lot. Video making is my hobby. What's up, Caleb? Travis is getting married next year. I don't really like chickens all that much. What do I think about the grain prices? I think they're going to stay low until we have a major. I don't know. One of two things are going to happen. First thing that may happen is that spectators are going to realize just that the corn crop isn't there like they're expecting, which I don't think it's there like they are expecting. Or two, prices are going to remain low until maybe February, March, before they start rebounding, because they're going to realize that our stocks aren't holding over, because believe it or not, we do use a lot of corn in the world. So we get tornadoes usually. Speculators. Did I say spectators? I'm sorry. I meant speculators. Travis looks pissed off all the time. That's just his face. I started running equipment totally by myself. Totally by myself when I was 12. I could have started earlier, but there wasn't any need for me to start doing stuff by myself. So I started getting more involved when I was 12. We aren't doing dairy. Good night to those of you who are signing off. I have to go, Jamie. Juan, I am putting up a new video the day after tomorrow. My schedule goes somewhat like this. Usually not on Mondays. I either upload on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then Thursday I sometimes skip, and then I upload on Friday, and Sunday for sure, and maybe Saturdays too if I'm backlogged in my videos, which I am pretty far backlogged in my videos right now, guys. So. All right, guys. It's about 10:15. I told you guys that this would be enough. Thanks for watching. This has been an incredible stream. I had a lot of great questions. I look forward to doing this again. Don't count on next week, but who knows? Maybe the week after that or the following week. So I got to get going. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Be sure to follow us on there. And if those of you who are interested in the clothing, howfarmswork.com, check it out. If it's too pricey for you, which it shouldn't be, it's pretty average price, I think. So go check it out, and I'll see you all next time.